Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm John, and I appreciate all the subscribers I've gotten. We're at 101 right now. Consider subscribing and liking the videos, commenting down below, and all that fun stuff. It really helps me buy more GPUs so we can make more content. So today we're checking out a 4060 8GB card with Crimson Desert. Right now we have it on 1080p, no upscaling, minimum settings, and we are using drivers 596.21, the latest drivers. All right, as you can see right now, we're getting right about 90 to 92-ish, 95, depending on where you're at. And everything looks pretty good, nice and smooth. Our frame time is the lowest it's been on any card we've tested on here so far. But it looks really, really bad on minimum settings. So we're going to move it on up to low settings. We're going to hit apply here. And we're taking a decent hit. We're already in the 65s. And we're averaging about 72. 1% low 64 and 0.1% of 48, and our frame time looks really good. Not too shabby. Definitely playable at this if this is all you can afford. Let's try out medium settings here. Reset those 1% lows. We're looking at 71. We're right at that 60 FPS mark right now. 1% lows of 52, 0.1% of 48. Definitely taking a decent hit on the FPS here. A decent experience, however. You can really play it with this if you have this card. Okay, so about 60 FPS. We'll try some upscaling here in a second, but I do want to try the rest of the settings. All right, we're going to go high. And now we're below that 60 FPS mark when we start moving. Oh, we're hanging on. We're hanging on right at 60. Okay. And now we're dipping. Sometimes we're seeing it go up to 61. Sometimes we're below that 60 FPS mark. It's not too bad. Oh, we'll kill these guys. There we go. Okay, when you've seen that, you've seen our FPS drop pretty significantly. 0.1% lows of 27 right there. And we're averaging back up to 44. All right, now that we've shown that, we're gonna try Ultra. Again, 1080p, no upscaling. Reset those 1% lows. And it's still about the same from Ultra to high. Looks amazing. Again, if you got this card, absolutely be able to play it, especially at 1080p. We'll try out 1440p later. Looking really nice. I do want to try cinematic real quick. Here we go. And we're below that 60 FPS mark, but honestly, the frame time's a little high. You can feel it at times. You could definitely play it at cinematic. We're at like 48 frames. Shouldn't be too much of an issue, but I wouldn't play it with this. I would try high, maybe medium, sometimes ultra, depending on where you're at in here. Now we're gonna go to medium because I think that's where we're going to have the best bang for our buck. So we're gonna turn some upscaling on. AMD FSR native AA, no frame gen. There we go. And honestly, not helping. And okay, so let's try this. We have AMD FSR 3.1 on, right? Okay. Now turn it off, and we're just at medium. Okay, medium. And it's actually higher than with AMD FSR 3.1. We're gonna go back to it though. Turn it on. Here's native again. And we took a hit right there. So now we are going to try quality. Okay. And now that is a lot better. So you could get away with that. It feels good. The response time's 14 to 15 milliseconds. Let's go into the town and check this. So honestly, it's really about all dialing in what your card can do. So as we just seen, AMD FSR 3.1 was not good at quality or native AA, or sorry, native AA. We went to quality, and probably balance is where we're really gonna see this really good setting here, okay? And that's when we're in the 80s, high 70s, and we're looking pretty good here. So completely playable. If you look at the frame time graph at the bottom, we're at 13 to 15 milliseconds response time. So pretty good. And look, we're gonna, nope, can't talk to him. All right. All right, and now we're gonna try DLSS 4.0 quality. Still medium, still 1080p, 75 FPS, about the same. We're at the high 65s, low 70s. Okay, decent experience. Now let's try balanced 4.0 DLSS, no frame gen. There we go. All right, we're at 82. We're dipping a little bit into the low 70s. Our 1% lows are 60, or 0.1% lows are 60, now 56. 1% low, 61. Looks really well, if you can see by the picture here. Pretty great experience. Our frame time is about 11 to 13 milliseconds. Feels really good. The quality looks very good. You can look at the town and it all looks very, very good. Far away, doesn't look bad at all. We look up at the clouds, pretty good. Really no pixely, just a little bit right there with the smoke coming out. It looks a little weird. Other than that, can't really tell. Now, we are going to try 4.5 balanced. So right now we're at 80. We're going to see what happens here. And we actually about the same, maybe just a little less. See what happens when we get moving. Yeah, playable. No issues here. I wouldn't play on 4.5, but that's just me. Okay. Now we're going to try some frame generation. 1080p. We're going to go 4.0. Quality, frame gen on. Number of frames generated 2. No ray reconstruction. Anti-lag off, because that's AMD. Well, it makes us keep it on. Okay, there we go. Here, I'll let you see these settings one last time. NVIDIA DLSS 4.0 quality. Give me one sec. There you go. Now you can see it. NVIDIA DLSS frame gen on. Number of frames generated 2. DLSS ray construction off. AMD anti-lag 2 is on. It doesn't let it. You turn it off. and we're on medium settings and 1080p. And we'll turn that back on. Okay. 100 frames. Not bad. And something weird, if you notice that the frame time graph says 0.3, I don't believe that, to be honest with you. It does look really good. The response time is very, very good as well. No complaints. It's fun. You could play it like this. It looks really nice too. Now, if you look straight ahead right here, you can tell that it's coming in and out of view and a little bit of pixeling. But if you don't look far away, it's not bad. All right. Now we're going to try, well, let's just do 4. Let's try DLSS 4.0 or 4.5, excuse me. And it actually dropped a bit. A 100 frames per second, 1% lows to 48, 0.1% lows to 45. Honestly, you could play it on medium settings at 1080p and have no issues playing this card above 60 FPS. There's no reason for this at 1080p. We'll see what it looks like at 1440p. So that's where we're headed to next. I'm gonna set it all up and I'll see you at the 1440p. All right, we are back at 1440p minimum settings. I'm gonna show you right here, 1440p, no upscaling whatsoever, and minimum everything per the game. All right, and we're at 101 FPS, and it's gonna dip down as soon as we start playing. 85, 86, going to about 90s as well. Looks pretty good. FPS wise, graphics terrible. Looks horrible. Like, look how blurry that looks. Man, it's tough. We'll go down over here into the city just a little bit. All right. This is a good little spot right here. 89, 88. Playable at this, no issues. The frame time's pretty low as well. Oh, buddy, careful. All right, we're gonna go ahead and go to low. All right, here we go. Low, apply. And we already see a huge difference in the graphics from minimum to low, and I assume that's because they're trying to capture more GPUs, so this game is playable. The more GPUs you could have, the more people can play it instead of having to upgrade, even though it looks terrible. Right now we're getting 49 to 50 FPS. It's pretty bad. This is where it all falls apart for this graphics card. Now we're not hitting all the VRAM usage. We're at 5.2, 5.3-ish gigahertz. Sorry, gigabytes. And our clock speed is at 2.7 gigahertz. It is at 100%, and our i7 14700K measly 16 to 17%, just fine. So out in the open, we are looking at around that 60 FPS mark when we get the moving, and it dips into the 50s, and then inside the city gets a little bit worse. But hey, it is what it is. That's why we got upscaling, which we're going to try in just a minute. But let's go ahead and go to medium settings. Reset those 1% lows. And it's bad. 40 FPS. It's still playable, but that frame time is sitting up there a little bit higher, than up to 24, 25. So you will start to notice that just a little bit. Still completely playable. I mean, it is what it is. We're looking at 1% lows of 38, 0.1% lows of 37, average 43, 44. Let's go up let's go in here in the city. See what happens. Okay, about 42.
What's the matter with you?
Okay. All right, there we go. So now we're gonna look at high settings. Again, in the 40s, probably low or high 30s, low 40s here.
How am I meant to sort out this?
Right at 40. We didn't get that significant of a drop in FPS, switching it to high from medium, but hey, there you go. Still playable at this. I mean, it looks great. You know, your response time gets up to almost 30, so you will feel that just a little bit. It looks a little laggy every now and then, but yeah. Let's try ultra settings. All right, now we'll reset that 1% lows. We're looking at 38, high 30s, low 40s. We'll go into the city. Oh, does this guy need some money? There we go.
I'll do the same for you someday.
There we go, buddy. Again, we didn't get that crazy of a, you know, last, where we were at high settings. Let's see. We're at high. So we're still averaging like 38 to 40. And here at ultra, we're still getting 38 to 40. So not much of a change. The 1% lows and 0.1% lows maybe dipped just a little bit, but nothing I can tell, to be honest with you. And now for cinematic. And now our frame time is really bad, and now you can really feel that. We're averaging 28 upwards of 30. I just seen 31 and a half. So yeah, looks great. I mean, even though it's at 35 FPS, almost 40, you can feel that lag just a little bit. Looks pretty good though. Now we're gonna try some upscaling methods. We're gonna go to low, hit apply. Okay. This is what we get at low settings. About 61 standing still, 62. Now we're going to put on upscaling AMD FSR 3.1. Upscale, we're going to go to quality. And we've seen an average of what, 61, 62 to 78, almost 80. Reset those 1% lows. Frame time looks fine, 15 milliseconds. And it looks pretty good. Their faces all look good. Yeah. In the low 60s, I would play it at this setting, no problem. On low, looks good. Get out of the way. Yeah. Not bad at all.
You're taking the piss, mate.
We did drop those 1% lows and 0.1% lows below that 60, but honestly, pretty playable. Everything looks good. You might see a little bit pixely, like right here. You can see a little bit of the pixelation in the clouds, but that's really far away. Everything close up looks fairly well. All right, let's try balanced. All right. Now remember, we started at native low 1440p at 6162, and we're at 9089, and we'll see if that dips pretty bad here. We're at 70, 71, 72. 1% lows to 61, 0.1 at 57. This is fine. It looks good. We can zoom in on the guy.
Go lose yourselves.
Hey. There we go. Let's take a look at some of this stuff. It all looks pretty good. The geometry looks a little weird in that. But other than that, looks good. If I wasn't paying really close attention, I wouldn't have noticed those. Like, does it really matter that much, in my opinion? But let's try NVIDIA DLSS 4.0 quality, no frame generation yet. Anti-lag is off. And let's try that. And remember, we start out at 61, 62 native, and we're around 69. So we're already dipping in the 60s, right at that 60 FPS mark. Those 1% lows and 0.1% lows are pretty abysmal. AMD FSR was doing a lot better than this. So let's go ahead and go to balanced.
Sneaky vermin.
Okay. So we're looking a little bit higher, not significant. Honestly, I think we had a better response from the AMD FSR 3.1 than DLSS 4.0. All right, well, let's give frame generation on NVIDIA DLSS 4.0. Number of frames generated is 2. Ray reconstruction off, anti-lag 2 on. Hit apply. And this is on low. Looking at 91, 92 frames, if you can call them real frames. Now look at those 1% lows and 0.1% lows. I will reset them, but right now you're looking at 39 and 26. I reset them again. And honestly, I mean, it's playable. The response time seems fine. It's not really laggy. But look at those 1% and 0.1% lows. Not that great. No lag spikes or anything like that. Everything seems fine. I don't know if I believe that 0.3 millisecond response time on here, but there you go. That is frame gen. Wasn't really that impressed with it. Let's go 4.5, DLSS 4.5, balanced, no frame gen, anti-lag off. There we go. Reset. This is still low. And honestly, it didn't really do anything. I mean, we're actually getting about the same as native low on 1440p. We'll go check it in the city. Maybe it helps a little bit in there, but doesn't look like it's going to. Just go up in here. Looking at 62, 65-ish there. I mean, I'd still play native if this was the case. Or AMD FSR 3.1 at quality or balanced. We're looking right at 60 native, you'll get the same results. Let's look at frame generation with DLSS 4.5, number of frames generated 2, no ray reconstruction, anti-lag on. It doesn't let you turn that off. And here we go. 1% lows reset. We're looking at 86 frames. Into the 70s. Those 1% and 0.1% lows are abysmal. We're looking at high 30s there. And yeah, really not that great. Huh. Well, there you have it on that. I do want to try DLSS 4.5L with deep learning, super sampling technology, balanced NVIDIA DLSS frame generation off. Number of frames generated off. It's not. Let's see how it's grayed out. No ray reconstruction. Anti-lag 2 on. Let's see what happens here. And I reset those 1% lows, and it did not help us whatsoever. All right. 56, 51, 1% lows. Yeah, not that great. It does look really well, though. I mean, look at that tree. Looks good. His face looks pretty good, too. But you could tell, man, look at the smoke right up front right here. You could tell how choppy it is. Look all the way out there into the clouds. Pretty pixely there, in my opinion. Well, there you have it. We took a look at 1080p, all the settings except for ray tracing or ray path reconstruction. We looked at 1440p, DLSS, AMD FSR, all those settings. So if you'd like to see more, consider subscribing so I could buy more GPUs. It really helps me out. I don't want to get ads or take any company's money. I want to take YouTube's money so I can buy more for you. And we are coming out with a video for this AMD graphics card, a 5700 XT. Hint, it did not like my computer, and we had to do so. It took me about 2 hours to diagnose the issue and why they didn't like each other. So stay tuned for that. And until next time, again, if you like the video, subscribe, comment, and like the videos. And I'm John, this is T4, and I'm out. Peace.